Speaking of damning, Manchester City, this club with 115 charges against them, have filed a lawsuit against the
Oh,
Premier League for what they
shame.
call discrimination against golf ownership. And if you don't know what golf ownership is, that is
Saudis.
the essentially, the Middle East peninsula there. I don't get this at all. The whole thing is pretty much essentially against clubs not being able to use sponsorship for businesses that the owners own the business, right? I know we've heard a lot of good analogies. I know you had one about two companies, a tire place and a restaurant, and the restaurant decides they want to sponsor a tire place, giving them so much money, and they value the tire place 5 times higher. So
Or the
inflated.
sponsorship 5 times higher. They
Yeah,
say the sponsorship's worth more than what it actually is.
exactly. So
And it basically
inflated
means they
prices.
can one company can pay another company owned by the same person exorbitant amounts of money. Hey, we made all this income. Look, now we can go buy all the best players, buy the best facilities, and hire
Crapshoot.
the best coaches.
Yeah. So the rules on that pretty much were put in place in 2021 after Newcastle's takeover by the Saudi government. They made sure that that wouldn't happen. Well, City claim in a 165-page document, I don't know how you get that many pages about it, but that they are victims of discrimination, describing the rules that have been approved by their rivals to stifle their success on the pitch as tyranny of the majority. Literally
Tyranny of the majority.
sounds like a democracy to me.
Democracy? Like, isn't that just another word for democracy?
Right? Right? They argue that companies should be able to contribute whatever they want for sponsorship, not what is considered fair market value, like we just went into. And the EPL rules contradict competition law. I would argue that literally they're there to make sure that it is still a competition. Otherwise, it's not. It's the best players in the world and all this money against nothing.
Well, that's how you
Little
get a
tiny pots
farmers
of,
league, man. I mean,
pretty
let's
much. It's
be honest.
PSG in France.
It's
In the
like if
Ligue
you
1.
get say Bournemouth, Fulham, this season Burnley, Sheffield, all those teams they go to play Man City, they just say F it, we'll rotate our squad, play our
Yeah.
youngsters, and then wait for the next game where we actually stand a chance.
Yeah, and people forget it was early 2000s when Manchester United and Liverpool put up a vote for the Premier League that they should get pretty much paid upon the viewers of EPL games. So if they get 10 times more than, say, Luton versus Burnley, they should be paid accordingly, which would have given them essentially 70 million extra pounds for a season. And Manchester City voted against that. Because
What's
it's a
funny is
democracy.
now Man City are looking for other clubs to kind of come support them because I think they said in this document like 16 clubs or something like that, or 14 clubs, something like that, are going to be witnesses against this Man City lawsuit, basically. And Man City, they're also seeking damages. Don't forget about that. They want money because of this.
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
But it's just like, honestly, I know every team has their rival. As Arsenal fans, we don't care for Spurs, Chelsea, United, and Liverpool have that rivalry. I feel like every team now should hate Manchester City and just want them to lose. Like, if you're not a Man City fan, you want them to lose at this point. They're a bunch of cheaters. And they're just trying to corrupt the system and use money to win. And it ruins football. It ruins the sport.
Not to mention I believe their valuation and income is like just barely behind Real Madrid. And if you look at the fan bases of the two, Real Madrid has, I couldn't even multiply it how many more
dude, you can
fans.
go to any small town anywhere and you go to a bar with the Real Madrid game on and there's someone
nuts.
there watching it.
Yeah, exactly. Versus Man City where they don't even fill their own stadium.
The empty had.
Yeah. I mean, this is literally like, I think it's probably a quarter to half of the charges they have against them from the Premier League is involving inflation of sponsorship deals where they're pretty much funneling money through their own companies to pay for sponsorships.
To make Man City look like it has more revenue than
inflated
does.
value.
Yeah.
I mean, Man City before they took over were a middle of the table side.
Before the Saudis took over, they were a relegation threat inside.
Well, there you go. And
I
now
remember when they
become
got relegated. Damn.
Now they become one of the most successful teams in the Premier League era. I mean, they've won the last 4 Premier League trophies. They say that it's hurt them. Has it really, though? They're the most successful team in the last 10
I
years.
know, right? They said it hurts them, and you won the
How many
trophy
more
last year.
trophies do you want?
Yeah,
Right? Like,
get
it
out of here
makes
with
no
that
sense to
garbage.
me. Does this seem like pretty much they're admitting to the charges based on sponsorship deals against them by
I
the
think this
Premier
is
League?
them. You know what the sad part is I think yes, they're guilty of all of that. This is them trying to get away with it. But it's going to be really damning and sad for just fans of the sport if they get away with this.
Right? If they win this, I think they win their case. And then it's going to be just a giant shit show across all of Europe at that point. Because if the Premier League lets them do that, I mean, UEFA has their own regulations that are stricter than the Premier League's. So does FIFA. Let us know down in the comments. Also, let us know on TikTok, Brews FC, on Instagram, Brews Banter FC, Facebook. Join the conversation on our Facebook group. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And until next time, my friends, we love you. Thank you for supporting us. You got to try these beers. They're delicious. Cheers.
Cheers. Today's episode is brought to you by Acorn Hills Clothing Company. Sustainable clothing, biodegradable packaging, tree planted for every purchase, and a percentage of their sales donated to charities.
Yeah, and that's not even the best part. They give you these plantable clothing tags with every purchase. Pretty much greatest idea ever.
That
You
is
scan
awesome.
the QR code right here for planting instructions. So make sure you go to www.acornhillsco.com and use Brews15. That is BREWS15 at checkout for 15% off and have your tree planted today.
Yes, don't forget to use our code Brews15 at checkout for 15% off. This is one you don't want to miss, guys.